Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sebelumnya kami dari kelompok 5 akan mempresentasikan hasil diskusi kami yang berjudul An Approach to the Religion dan the Beginning of Revelation dengan dosen pembimbing Miss Anissa Arifayani MPD dan anggota kelompok kami 1. Intan Tasdikirani 2421052, Habibatur Rahmah dengan NIM 2421050 dan Vika Adistia NIM 2421054. Chapter 9.
Approach to study religion. There is a crucial about the study of religion. The question is it possible to study religion scientifically? Religion is a social phenomenon as are politics, economics, psychology, anthropology and the like. These social sciences can be studied scientifically, so can religion. Religion is a universal phenomenon and the most important ingredient in the study of human life. There are two approaches to the study of religion. These approaches are linked through the unbroken line of the two extremes. The first approach is normative and the other is descriptive. The normative approach is based on the criteria of what is true and good and what is bad, what one ought to do and ought not to do. This is based on the personal internal experiences of the religion founder or the messenger in contact with divinity, the transcendental experience. This approach can be looked at two ways. The first one is theology, that is an attempt to give a systematic traditional expression of religious experience. In Islam it is called aqeed, something which must be accepted and believed. The second way is religious ethics or moral behavior, how to act with one's fellow man. The second approach is descriptive, which is based on intellectual curiosity rather than on belief. There is a number of disciplines which will help in understanding religion. The first is the history of religion, looking at religious behavior historically. The second is the psychology of religion, understanding the mental process and feeling of religious people, and the last is the sociology of religion, trying to understand how religious groups organize themselves, the role of religious institutions, religious leaders, law, and the state. Using the descriptive approach, it is possible to study religion scientifically.
Grammar, deverative words. Deverative word merupakan suatu kata baru yang merupakan kata turunan yang berasal dari akar kata root words. Root words bisa berupa noun, kata benda, adjektif, kata sifat, maupun verb, kata kerja. Proses pembentukan deverative words dilakukan dengan menambahkan affixes, imbuhan seperti prefixes, awalan maupun suffixes, akhiran pada root words. Prefixes biasanya ditambahkan ke noun, kata benda, untuk membentuk kata baru dengan arti yang berbeda tanpa merubah kelas kata dari root words, sedangkan suffixes biasanya ditambahkan pada kata kerja verb atau kata sifat adjektif untuk membentuk kata baru dengan arti yang berbeda dengan ikut merubah kelas kata dari root words.
Macam-macam derivation. Ada 4 macam derivation yang kita kenal pada part of speak. Di antaranya adalah 1. Non-derivation merupakan proses pembentukan kata yang menghasilkan sebuah noun, kata benda, kata dasar, stem, root, base yang digunakan bisa berupa verb, kata kerja, atau dapat pula berupa adjektif, kata sifat. Contoh intimacy, constant, and fishery. 2. Adjective derivation merupakan artinya proses pembentukan kata yang dihasilkan berupa adjektif, kata sifat, stem atau kata dasar yang bisa kita gunakan dalam adjective derivation, bisa berupa verb, kata kerja, noun, kata benda, atau dapat pula berasal dari adjektif juga. Contoh silken, lifelike, and fragile. 3. Verb derivation adalah proses derivation dengan hasil kata berupa sebuah verb, kata kerja, kata dasar yang bisa kita ubah menjadi sebuah verb, dapat berasal dari adjektif atau noun. Contoh widen and flicker. 4. Adverb derivation merupakan proses pembentukan kata dengan hasil kata bentukan berupa adverb, kata keterangan, kosakata dasar yang dapat kita jadikan sebuah adverb umumnya berasal dari adjektif, contoh long, tightly, and anywhere.
Chapter 10.
The beginning of Revelation. Before becoming a prophet, Muhammad usually spent 1 month every year in a cave on the top of a mountain near Mecca. There he meditated and thought about religion of Abraham. This was done by him because he refused to accept the beliefs of the people of Mecca who worshipped idols. This continued for a number of years. When he was 40 years of age, the archangel Gabriel came to him and convinced him. It was clear that he was a prophet from God. He received the first revelation after becoming a prophet. The first revelation said, "Read in the name of thy Lord who created man from a blood clot reed. Thy Lord is most beneficial." He taught by pen, taught man what he knew not. When the prophet received this revelation from God and when he became sure, then he began to call people to accept the new religion. The new religion was based on the oneness of God, worshipping only Allah and giving up the worship of idols. About 3 years after Prophet received the first revelation, he was told, "Warn your relatives." He started to speak to his close friends and his family. Khadijah, his wife, was the first woman to accept Islam, and Abu Bakr the first man. Ali bin Abu Talib, his cousin, was the first boy to accept Islam, and Zayd was the first servant to accept Islam. The number started to increase slowly through the personal contact of the Prophet and his close friend, Abu Bakr. But when he received the verse mentioned, this was the sign for him to inform all the people of Mecca of his cause.
Grammar past tense. Past tense merupakan suatu bentuk kata kerja sederhana yang berfungsi untuk menjelaskan suatu kejadian pada masa lalu. Kata-kata yang sering digunakan pada tenses jenis ini adalah yesterday, last today, last year, dan lain-lain. Rumus subject plus verb 2 plus object. Contoh, the king of Majapahit built the castle, atau kata kerja yang digunakan past tense adalah verb 2. Dua jenis kata kerja yaitu regular verb atau tambahan ed atau d di belakang verb 1 dan irregular verb. Irregular verb ada yang memiliki bentuk verb yang sama dengan bentuk dasar. Contoh, put, cut. Simple past tense negatif. Rumus subject plus did plus not plus verb 1. Contoh, I did not sleep well last night, atau aku tidak bisa tidur tadi malam. Simple past tense interrogatif. Rumus did plus subject plus verb 1. Contoh, did you sleep last night, atau apakah kamu tidur tadi malam?
Sekian dari kelompok kami, kurang lebihnya mohon maaf apabila ada salah kata atau kurang jelas untuk dipahami. Saya sebagai moderator mohon maaf yang sebesar-besarnya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.